Okay, so here's a more challenging order of operations question. One of the reasons that kids have difficulty with this is because there looks to be so much going on and they don't know where to begin. I'm going to give you a second to jot down this problem, pause the video, give it a try yourself, and once you're done, come back and push play, and you can see how I go through a nicely organized solution and see if you have the right answer. Did you press pause yet? Okay, I'm going to assume you pressed pause. I'm going to assume you finished it, have an answer. Or if you're stuck, come on in, take a look at what we're doing, and see how we do it. So, lots of operations going on here. I see brackets right off the bat, so I know I'm going to have to start with one of the sets of brackets. So I know that one of the sets of brackets. In this case, I might as well start. I'm going to start with the first one I come to, the one here on the left. It has all this inside it. I could, if I wanted to, do this one at the same time, simply because there's an add in between the brackets, and that would mean whatever the answer to all of this math inside the brackets is, I'm just going to add it to whatever the answer to all the math inside this bracket is. But for the sake of simplicity, I'm simply going to do this bracket first, because it comes first. There's no other reason to do this one before it. So I need to know what's going on inside this bracket. And it's like its own order of operations question. So if I think about just this stuff here, if I just think about that, 12 plus 6 times 4 minus 2 cubed. That's inside the brackets. And really, it's like its own BEDMAS question itself. So inside the brackets, I have to think which thing to do first. Are there more brackets inside there? No. Is there an exponent? Yes, there is. Right there. So I have to come in and do this first. So there's my logic behind doing the exponent first. Inside the brackets is some more order of operations, so I better do that first. Right there. So I'm going to keep everything else the way it was. 12 plus 6 times 4 minus 2 to the power of 3. I remember 2 to the power of 3 means 2 times itself 3 times. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 again, that's 8. So 2 cubed is just 8. And I'm going to continue to write the rest of the math down that I haven't done yet. I didn't do anything with this brackets. I didn't do anything with this stuff inside the brackets. I'm taking longer than I really need, but I'm explaining every step as I go here, so I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff that I've been scribbling. This was 12. So I did the 2 cubed, and what that turned out to be was 8. So I started to do the brackets, but I'm not done these brackets yet, so I'm still trying to figure out the brackets. Now inside the brackets, I've made it a little simpler by doing the exponent, like I did here. So what I have inside there now looks like this. This is a mess, but 12 plus 6 times 4 minus 8. So inside this bracket, there are no more brackets. The exponent's done. There's no division. Now I have multiplication right here. So what that means is I need to come up, and that's my next step, the multiplication inside the bracket. So the 12 stays plus 6 times 4, that's 24, minus 8, and then I still keep going with this, plus 8 squared minus 20. So I did this inside the brackets. So each time I go, I'm still working on the same brackets until I have all the math inside there figured out down to one number. following the order of operations every time inside the brackets. So the brackets aren't done yet. I still have them. Inside the brackets, I did the exponent, I did the multiply. Now I have add and subtract. And I remember when I'm picking between add and subtract, I do whichever comes first. So right here, I have to do the addition. So back to my initial problem here. I'm going to do the addition. So 12 plus 24, that's 36. I still have the subtract 8. I haven't done anything with it yet. Same thing here, plus 8 squared minus 20. So now inside that first bracket, I've simplified it down to 36 minus 8. Well, that's easy. There's only one thing left to do. Do the 36 minus 8. And since that's the very last thing, and I'm going to have one number as an answer, the brackets can go away. I'll be done with them. 36 take away 8 is 28. So all of this inside the brackets evaluated to 28. Now I'm finished with this bracket. It's done. There's nothing left to do in there. So that bracket's done. Boom. All of the stuff that I was writing over here was just kind of me thinking through the process of what I have to solve here. You don't necessarily have to do that yourself. So I've finished this bracket. Now what I have is 28. And I still have this plus the brackets with 8 squared minus 20 in it. So now it's like I have another new order of operations question. Each of these is like its own new order of operations question that's just getting simpler every step of the way. This looks way simpler than what I started with. So now again, I still have to think BEDMAS. Are there brackets left? Yes, there is right here. There's a set of brackets. Inside that bracket, there's an exponent right here. 8 squared minus 20. This does not mean 8 minus 20 and then square it. It means I have to figure out how much is 8 squared first, so I know how much I have to take 20 away from. So that's my next move right there. So 28 plus, I still have the brackets because I won't have an answer to the brackets yet. 8 squared. Exponent means that is 8 multiplied by itself twice. That's 64. This does not mean 8 times 2, kids. Every time I see people make this mistake, and I'm going to tell you that 100 times, this does not mean 8 times 2. It is 8 times itself twice. So 8 squared is 64. Minus 20. All right. So, last thing I have to do is finish this bracket. Still have the bracket. My exponent is now gone because I did that. Inside there, I don't have a divide. I don't have multiply. I don't have add. I just have my subtract right there. 64 take away 20. That's my next one. So 28 plus 64 take away 20, that is 44. And I don't need the brackets anymore because I have the answer to what's inside here. Done. So all of this simplifies to 28 plus 44. And so that's the last thing I have to do. 28 and 40, that's 68, plus 4 more should be 72. Voila, lots of steps. It takes, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps to get to the answer. But if you follow the order of operations, you keep going over and over BEDMAS, inside brackets, inside other sets of brackets, until you have those brackets figured out down to one number, It's not that difficult. We have to remember how to do exponents, because that's going to be a trick that might trip you up. But check to see how you did. If you got the answer 72, good job. If you missed and didn't get the answer 72, take a look at your steps compared to mine and see maybe where you went wrong.